Between shadows and secrets, Natalie had always been cautious. She lived in a quiet neighborhood, had a stable job at a computer security company, and avoided emotional dramas or who avoids a poorly lit street. But everything changed one night, when he found a note stuck on his car's windshield. Don't trust anyone from floor 3. The first thing he thought was that it was a broma. Then he remembered that his new neighbor Caleb had moved in just a week ago, and lived exactly on the 3rd floor. Caleb was tall, reserved, and had the look of someone who had seen too much in too little time. Natalie tried to ignore the note, but that same night, someone tried to force the lock on her apartment. She didn't call the police, she called Caleb. "What's going on here?" he asked, with the paper trembling in his hand. Caleb looked at her silently. Then he closed the door behind her. "I don't know who left you that note, but it's better that we talk inside." Inside his apartment, everything was impeccable. Too much so. No photos, no books, no traces of a real life. As if someone had set a stage. "I also work in security," he said, finally. "But not of the legal type." From that moment, Natalie found herself trapped in a web of lies, surveillance, coded messages, and a dangerous tension that grew between her and Caleb. She didn't know if she could trust him, nor did she know if she wanted to do it. But something was certain, someone was watching her. And Caleb was the only one who knew why. Natalie hesitated before sitting down. Caleb had the kind of look that disarms, that says more with what it hides than with what it reveals. "What do you mean you don't work legally?" she asked, without taking her eyes off him. He approached the desk and opened a metal crate. Inside, photographs, blueprints, printed emails, and a photo of her? Natalie stood up, stepping back. "Why do you have a picture of me?" "It's not what you think," Caleb replied painfully. "I work identifying security breaches for private clients. Sometimes I am hired to test how vulnerable people are." "Are you telling me that you were paid to investigate me?" "Not exactly you," he said cautiously. "Someone very close to you. Your boss, Marcus Lang." Natalie's heart stopped for a second. Marcus had been her mentor for years. He was a serious man, intelligent, and completely reliable. Or not? "I don't understand anything," she whispered. Caleb approached, slowly, as if she were a bird ready to fly. "Lang is being investigated. Due for suspicious transfers from your company. Military encryption. Levels that nobody should be able to access, except you." "Are you saying that someone is using my access to steal information?" "Exactly, and they are setting a trap for you." Natalie felt the floor disappear. But she didn't have time to react. From the hallway, a dry blow. Then another. Like heavy steps, approaching the Puerta. Caleb turned off the lights. "Don't move." Both remained silent. Natalie could barely breathe. Caleb, with his jaw tense, approached the door, stealthily. A shadow passed in front of the Marco. Then, silence. An envelope was pushed underneath. Caleb took it and opened it. Inside, a single word. "Run." "What does that mean?" Natalie asked, trembling. "It means that we can no longer to stay here." And without waiting for another word, Caleb took her hand and they went out through the fire escape. Night was just beginning. They ran down the emergency stairs as if the place was burning. The cold wind hit their faces, but fear was stronger than the weather. Natalie didn't look back. She only let herself be guided by Caleb's hand, which squeezed hers as if I knew exactly where to go. They got into a dark car parked 2 blocks down. Caleb started without turning on the lights and got lost in poorly lit streets. "Where are we going?" he asked Natalie. "To a safe place. I have a contact who can help us." They drove to the outskirts of the city, to a rustic cabin by a lake. A woman of about 40 years old, with a serious face. My sharp gaze received them. "Is she the analyst?" he asked. "Yes, Natalie. Good. I'm Harper, ex-CIA. Caleb asked me to intervene if everything got out of control. And well, clearly it did." Harper showed him a laptop connected to an encrypted server. "Your records were manipulated 2 weeks ago. Remote accesses came from your account. But there is a pattern." On the screen, Natalie saw records with timestamps that coincided with the times she was in meetings, always with Marcus. "He used his system to divert my signal. And now you have 2 options," Ness said Harper. "Either you hide, or you confront him." Natalie did not hesitate. "I'm going to confront him." The plan was quick and dangerous. Caleb and Harper designed a digital decoy. Natalie would connect from a protected network, and would drop a trap file with reverse tracking. If Marcus accessed it, his coordinates would be obtained. Hours later, he fell into the trap. They tracked him to an abandoned warehouse in the D Industrial District. Caleb went with her, even though Harper insisted they shouldn't. "We can't let him escape," said Natalie. The warehouse smelled of rusted metal. From an office in the Segu on the floor, they heard voices. Marcus's, and another. Someone else was involved. Natalie entered firmly. "Why, Marcus? Why did you use me?" Marcus turned, surprised but not repentant. "Because you were perfect. Access, trust, ingenuity. Then you don't know me at all." At that moment, Caleb burst through the back door with Harper. In a matter of seconds, it was all over. Marcus was arrested by federal forces, thanks to the evidence collected by Harper. Days later, Natalie and Caleb walked along the lake shore. He looked at her, for the first time without the weight of the secret. "Oh, what now?" he asked. "Whatever we want," Natalie replied. "Although, a little drama wouldn't hurt." Caleb laughed and took her hand. "I promise only romantic drama." And under the sea, starry sky, among shadows and unveiled secrets, Natalie found what she never thought, a new beginning. End. Subscribe and comment.